You know that feeling? You go on vacation and suddenly you feel like a completely different person. Maybe you're more energetic in one city or way more relaxed in another. It's easy to just brush that off, but what if it's not random at all? What if the very space you're in is actively shaping everything about you, from your health all the way down to your personality? Okay, let's get into this because it's a fascinating idea.
Now, before we dive in, just want to make it super clear. The source author for all articles is Shui Fang of Life Chuanyuan. So everything we're about to explore comes directly from the concepts presented in that source material.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with a personal story, then unpack the core theory of how space shapes us. After that, we'll blow up that definition of space to go beyond just physical location. We'll look at the dangers of getting stuck, find the solution in something called hybrid vigor, and then we'll turn it all back around to you.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, A Tale of Two Places. You know, this whole idea doesn't start with some grand abstract theory. It starts with a very real, personal experiment.
Just look at this contrast. It is so dramatic. The author mentions that living in humid Yunnan, they had constant headaches, leg pain, a pretty poor appetite, and even a more gentle personality. But then, a move to arid Qatar for just over a month, and boom, the pains, gone. Their appetite shot up, they even felt their personality getting tougher, more resilient. It's a night and day difference, right?
And hey, this wasn't just some fluke. Another move, this time to a mild, peaceful place called Nanhua, just proved the point even further. His skin got smoother, his personality softened up again, but new problems popped up. His legs felt cold all the time, something that literally never happened in Qatar. The pattern was undeniable. Each space had its own unique effect.
So you see, these aren't just travel stories. They're clues pointing to a much bigger idea. Let's jump into Section 2 and see how this all builds into the core thesis. The author actually has a name for this whole phenomenon: space fixation. The idea is pretty simple, really. If you stay in one single environment for too long, it kind of locks in who you are. It's like a mold, you know? The space you live in shapes your body and your mind, and if you stay there long enough, that shape starts to become permanent.
And the consequences of that are, well, they're profound. This fixation means that, yeah, good traits get locked in, but so do the bad ones. If you're healthy and happy in a place, you'll probably stay that way. But if you've got some kind of issue, whether it's physical or mental, it probably won't ever get better as long as you stay in that same exact space.
Okay, but this is where the whole concept gets really mind-bending. Because it's not just about what city you live in. Section 3 asks us to completely redefine what we even mean by our environment.
So this is the big question we have to ask ourselves. What if the space that's molding us isn't just about the climate or the geography? What if it's something way bigger?
And that's exactly where this is going. The definition of space gets expanded to include our intellectual and our social worlds. Think about it. The ideas you consume, the opinions you listen to, the friends you hang out with, these are all spaces too, and they shape your mind just as powerfully as a physical place shapes your body.
And this leads us to a pretty stark warning in Section 4. We're talking about the danger of staying put, especially when you're stuck in an intellectual echo chamber.
The logic here is pretty powerful. Just like staying in one physical spot can lock in your health problems, staying inside a single bubble of thought, whether it's political, religious, whatever, it leads to your mind getting rigid and inflexible. It completely stops your growth, and according to the author, it eventually leads to decline.
And the risks here are serious. The author warns that this kind of stagnation can lead to entropy, basically a slow slide into disorder. It can breed extremism because you're never challenged by different points of view. It can even lead to what are called psychological and spiritual diseases or imbalances.
So, if staying put is the disease, what's the cure? Well, that brings us to Section 5 and this really awesome concept called hybrid vigor.
This one sentence right here is the heart of the whole solution. Hybridization creates advantages. Uniformity leads to decline. It's an idea from biology, but applied to us, to our consciousness. Mixing different things together creates strength. Sticking to just one thing, well, that leads to weakness. And this isn't some abstract thought experiment. The source gives really clear examples of what this kind of cross-pollination looks like in real life. It's about deliberately stepping outside of your bubble to learn from a totally different one. It's a scientist seriously engaging with religion, or a devout person digging into science, not to convert, but just to expand their own mind.
So what's the end game here? Why do all this? It's not about proving who's right or who's wrong. It's about building a more complete, a more whole consciousness for yourself. By bringing in all these different perspectives, you cultivate a purer soul and, ultimately, a healthier, higher quality of life.
Okay, let's bring all of this home in our last section by making it super personal. What is your space?
So if you only remember a few things, let it be these. First, your environment, your space, has a huge impact on your body and your mind. Second, that space is way more than just geography. It's your ideas, your social circles, the whole shebang. Third, staying in anyone's space for too long leads to stagnation. And finally, the absolute key to growth is to get out there and actively seek diversity in everything.
So I'm going to leave you with this final thought to chew on. Take a real, honest look at your life, the place you live, the ideas you hold dear, the people you talk to every day. Are those spaces creating that hybrid vigor and helping you grow? Or are they actually walls that are boxing you in?